Claire.
And I'm Elton, and we're UK Barn Finds.
And this is our 1995 Rover Mini Sidewalk.
Let me tell you a little bit about how this came into our possession and what our plans are for it. So this is a bit of a different one for our YouTube channel, and we weren't entirely sure that we were going to feature this car. The reason being, we've got a few strings to our bow, and one of them is that we'll deal with probate cars. Probate car is one where somebody sadly passed away and the executor of the will wants to get rid of the car in order to free up some cash for the beneficiaries of the will. So ordinarily, we wouldn't feature a car like this on YouTube, but for this one we are. So we've removed all the personal effects from the vehicle before we started filming so that it's not instantly recognisable to anyone who knew this car. And we've also covered up the number plates for now. We're not hiding anything. When we put it to auction, you'll see on the Anglia Car Auctions website, you'll see the number plate there. And we'll also tell you then in the next video how much we paid, how much the parts were, and how much it sold for. Okay, so let's go back in time a few weeks to when this car arrived. For the people who like the glamour of it all. Come on, Claire, Neil's on his way.
I know, I've literally just had to put my old dog walking coat on and nip out.
It's almost like I said chocolate, but all I said was mini. There you go, love. Have your camera back.
Thank you.
This is a probate sale, Claire, so
yeah.
You know, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see the car, but you know, it comes from sort of, you know, a sad stage, and we're going to hopefully get it to someone so it can have, you know, a happier time itself. And maybe one day people who know this car will find it on YouTube or from the new owner's social media profiles and think, oh great, you know, I'm glad someone's enjoying that car now.
Yeah, exactly.
It hasn't gone to a scrapyard, Claire, that's the most important
thing. Indeed.
Neil will be here in a minute. He is our new best friend. Say new, but we've known him a little while now, but he's become a good friend, hasn't he?
He has, and that Mini should be coming down there very shortly.
Oh, we're on a trailer.
Ah.
We're not on the truck. It's still very hidden, isn't it?
It is a bit, yeah.
You just see, can you see like the edge of the windscreen there, Claire? Hey, wow.
There we go. It's that paintwork, that Kingfisher blue, I believe it's called. It's just stunning.
That looks like Kingfisher Blues to me, Claire.
Yeah.
I think I may need some paint correction. Let's press that one. I don't know what LED I'm looking at. Let's try it first. Actually sounds nice.
Yeah.
God, don't even sound like a Mini.
Don't forget, this is one of the modern ones. We're not used to, or I had a modern one, I had a modern Cooper. Oh, right, yeah. So yeah, they do generally sound and run a bit better.
I never, ever, ever shut car doors properly. Are they servoed on these ones? I've never had anything so modern. I have virtually no brakes.
Oh, right.
That's why I didn't tear down here at a rate of knots. They drive differently to old Minis.
I know they do, yeah.
I've never had, like I say, one so modern. It's totally different. It's nice feel to the drive, but the lack of brakes. Hello, any fluid? Any fluid? No. I'll put a bit of brake fluid in, we might get something that'll be leaking somewhere. Okay, Miss Bobble Hat, let's have a look at this Mini.
Yes, or despite it being sunny today, it's actually very cold. But yeah, let's have a closer look at this. This is actually a Mark 6 of the Mini. They were produced from 1990 to 1996. And what they would often do is bring these out as limited editions or special editions. This one is the Sidewalk. Let's have a closer look at what makes this car different. So one of the striking things you'll notice about this car is these decals. I love them, and they remind me a little bit of MASH here, with that sort of, gives me an idea of military signage, you know, American military signage.
I know what you mean, love.
Yeah.
No one else will.
No, probably not. Let's also have a look at these hubcaps. Now, let me bring you around here because we've got one original hubcap.
One?
One original and 3 non-original.
Okay.
This is actually the hubcap that would have come with the car.
I didn't know that, so I've learned something already today.
And whilst we're here, I'm all for people doing whatever they want to do with their cars.
Absolutely.
But this is not original. This has probably got the plastic wheel arch underneath. It's not my cup of tea, and I think we'll be trying our best to remove it, but it's really stuck on quite hard, so I don't quite know how that process is going to go. The other unique feature about the Mini Sidewalk was its bonnet badge. Come and have a look, Elton. Oh.
Oh yeah. Hang on. There you go, love.
Oh, thank you.
It was stuck on with blue tack.
Is its bonnet badge.
Take 2.
Which we're going to have to do something with.
We all saw that, but blue tack was a bit of a theme when I was clearing out the interior as well.
It was, really. The other thing about this Mini Sidewalk is that it came in 3 colours.
Hang on. 3?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was this striking Kingfisher blue, which I must admit is my favourite.
It's the only one I've seen, Claire, is this colour. So what were the others?
Okay, so I think it was charcoal grey was another option, as well as diamond white.
Now I'm going to be looking at Google when I get in.
Like you say, though, I haven't really seen... I haven't seen a grey or a white one for sale at all. I've only ever seen these in Kingfisher blue.
Which is an awesome colour.
It is. I love it. So one of the things you'll notice about this car that really stands out and I love is this blue tartan trim interior, and it also has contrasting red seat belts, which I think sets it off brilliantly and looks fantastic. On the steering wheel here, it would have had a unique special Sidewalk badge there. It's exactly the same steering wheel, but the badge unfortunately is missing and has since been replaced. Another thing to note, or if I can just get in here, is that it would have had a Rover branded radio cassette player in here, and that's been updated to a modern Bluetooth stereo there. Although I actually owned a 1996 Rover Mini Cooper, and to be fair, the radio cassette was pretty awful and I swapped mine out as well. So another great feature of these more modern classic Minis, if we can call them that, Elton, is that they don't come with the tiny little sets of keys that you used to get on the classic ones. These actually come with a fob, and they have an immobiliser with it too, with passive arming as well. What we did find is that when we got this, it wasn't working, was it? It
just about worked enough to get it started when Neil loaded it up, but it was a pain in the backside. But it was just one of those little CR whatever batteries. We replaced that. But talking of batteries, the battery on the car was flat. It'd been standing for over a year.
Yes.
But good old snap-on charger that I've got actually put it through a couple of cycles, and it seems good as gold now. So
excellent.
That's a bit of expenditure we don't have to pay out.
Exactly. And the features actually in general aren't that different to the classic Mini. You've got a very basic heater. All the dash buttons here are all instantly recognisable from the older models.
It's a case of if it's not broke, don't fix it, I think, with Minis, wasn't it? They didn't change massively from 1959. No,
not at all. And gearbox is 4-speed. And in terms of the condition of the interior, I'm obviously going to give this a full valet inside. You can see where there's been some little trinkets and bits and pieces stuck on with blue tack, a bit like the bonnet badge. But generally, the fabric is in pretty good condition, just needs a wet vacuum. And the carpets look pretty good too, along with the door cards.
it was a loved car.
Yes, I think
And
so.
it's going to be a loved car when we find the right next
person.
owner. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like Claire, my first ever car was a Mini. I've had a few Minis in my time. We have a few Minis now, don't we, dear?
Just about 4, I think.
But we've never had a modern Mini, which seems really weird calling a 30-year-old car modern. But there you go. So I popped the bonnet and I'm like, wow, it was difficult to get your hands in there before sometimes to work on a Mini. But what we found, having a quick look, I think the alternator looks quite new. Coil looks quite new. The observant among you will notice that the master cylinder, brake master cylinder, looks quite new. There's a reason for that. I put that on there yesterday because this unceremoniously dumped a load of fluid on my workshop floor when it arrived. So this was all leaking, I think, between the metal bit and the plastic. And I had a look online. It's an easy enough job to do and you can get a seal kit, but it was a lot of faffing around when there were sort of Black Friday deals on. So I just got a whole new master cylinder. It's literally like a 10-15 minute job. Pop that on there, but I haven't bled them yet. So we have 0 brakes at the moment. I didn't realise we were going to film it today. But yeah, it runs lovely. It starts lovely. It's just a great little car. I'd happily have one. I don't know for me though, because I've got the old ones, whether it's the same feel for me. It just feels too reliable. And if you want a reliable Mini, this is the sort to go for, I reckon.
Yeah, and these are different in that these are obviously a 1275cc engine.
Yes.
And they have an electric single point fuel injection as well.
Yeah, so they are reliable. They go well.
They do go well.
So I'm not going to have to keep it because I like unreliability and lack of power. I like my little 850. But no, it is a lovely car. But hopefully once we've bled the brakes, Claire, there's not a lot else mechanically to do. We haven't looked underneath yet though, have we?
We haven't. And just moving on, staying with the brakes for a minute, for people who don't know, these modern ones, they're servo assisted brakes on these, and I think they have discs on the front and drums on the rear. Yeah.
I don't know if you'll remember, I'm sure you will, Claire, when we first got it, when Neil dropped it off, because it had only leaked from here,
Yeah.
and we topped it up, the brakes were actually fine because there was no air in the system then. It's only because I've changed this.
Yes.
And they were actually really good brakes.
Yeah.
Not like a Mini.
No.
For me.
Yeah,
I mean, if you've had a
same.
Rover Mini, you probably think, what's he waffling on about? But totally different to old sort of, non-servo assisted brakes.
Yeah.
And really, really good brakes, really good starting car. I'm starting to sound like half a daily now, aren't I?
You are a bit.
Buy it.
But joking apart, it gives you a few little extra creature comforts and modern advances that you obviously don't get on the earlier Minis, which is great for perhaps younger people first getting into classic cars.
I think that's absolutely right, Claire. You've nailed it there. It's a refined version. It took a few years to get there, but it's beautiful. So we're not keeping this car. We bought it to sell. The MOT expired in October 2022. There were a couple of advisories in the past. I think some surface corrosion underneath. I'll have to have a proper look through them. So we'll have a look underneath. We'll get under there with a wire brush and prod around and just make sure. We'll make sure that it's mechanically sound. Probably put it in for an MOT. But what it does need, and if you want to follow me, Claire, it needs, the bottom of the doors, little bits are going there. That's nothing to worry about. Usual Mini things that... Bits of that's been filled before. I reckon that's had a little scrape there, to be honest.
Yeah.
Ideally, if you wanted a beautiful Mini, you'd probably have it all done and respray the whole car. But yeah, it needs a bit of bodywork. We're not going to do that. Our job is to get it as a running driving project to someone else. Hopefully, we'll get this into the January 2024 sale at Anglia Car Auctions.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
That's our aim.
And then that'll give someone who wants it for the sort of spring and summer, a good couple of months or more to get on and do what they want to do with it.
Sure.
So a running, driving project is what we're aiming for, Claire. And to be honest, we're almost there already.
Well, that's enough talking. How about we take her out for a little drive around the farm?
Cool. You're happy with the no brake situation then?
I'd forgotten about that.
The following day.
So we're going to go for a little drive up and down the farm.
We are.
And see what we think.
Yeah.
We now have some brakes.
Well, that's handy, isn't it? It's a good start.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
So I'll take it nice and easy to begin with, shall I?
Well, seeing as we've just bled the brakes, yeah, that seems sensible, Elton.
You've got your seatbelt on.
Yeah.
I've got my seatbelt on.
Oh no, here we go. You're going to test those brakes that we've just bled.
In a minute. So, you still get the
jumpy, bumpy, isn't it?
Do you remember when we picked up your Mini Designer?
Yes.
Down in Kent?
Yes.
And I drove it home, didn't I?
You did.
And you were laughing because all you could see was me bobbing up and down.
I could,
in
yeah.
this little Mini.
It does still have that ride experience,
yeah, it does.
doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't think much has fundamentally changed there, the suspension. But I do remember when I drove that back, because obviously I had Minis as a kid and that was the first one I'd driven in years. And I felt quite small and vulnerable.
Yeah.
Whereas I never used to feel that. I don't know whether it's because cars around me are bigger, which they are.
Yeah.
Roads are busier, which they are. Or the fact that I was a teenager when I had my first Mini and you just don't care about things, do you? I'm just going to try the brakes here, so brace yourself. Alright, so my hand was off the wheel. That's pretty straight, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't bad actually.
Put your foot down, we'll lose them easy. There you go, there's my Italian job quote.
The brakes seem alright though, to be fair, don't they?
Yeah, one thing I will say about this, and I can't pretend I don't like it, is the fact that when I jump in this and turn the key, once I've switched the immobiliser off, it just starts. There is no messing around.
There isn't.
You'll have noticed that.
That's the reliability factor, isn't it, with this?
And it's like responsive throttle. Bit slippery there, wasn't it?
Yeah, just a bit. Here we go.
Bonnet might fly up. Yeah, I could benefit from some ABS, I think.
I think it might
maybe
do.
I'll pump it next time.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of smoke out the back. Ooh. There's quite a lot of smoke out the back. Just keep an eye on all the gauges.
Yep.
Well, as far as mini brakes go, that's what they are. It is really muddy and full of gravel up there, so...
It is, yeah. It's a good test.
And we were going at a fair old lick of speed.
Yeah.
We have noticed underneath, it is a little bit scabby, as expected. It had some advisories on previous MOTs.
Yeah.
So at some point it needs to go up in the air, because I couldn't work under it, you know, on jacks and axle stands. I'm getting too old for that. I don't think it's going to escape anyone's notice that we're not car restorers. We get asked quite a lot, don't we, lately, about how we see ourselves, what we do. And we're kind of in a similar ilk to the auction houses. We're trying to find the right people for certain cars before they get scrapped.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're going here, because believe it or not, sometimes when a car's left and it's in the way and nobody knows what to do with it, somebody who isn't a car person would just get a scrapyard to take this. Hopefully it'd come back on the market, but you never know.
No.
So we are giving this one a chance, and it's lovely. This colour, I know it needs bodywork, and we're not really here to talk about the bodywork, we're here to talk about the driving, but I'm just looking at like the insides of the tools. I do genuinely love this.
Yeah, this colour's... It's special, isn't it? It's a special colour.
We were going to bid on one before, weren't we?
We were.
It went for a little bit more money than we'd hoped for, but...
And I ended up getting a Subaru Impreza instead, didn't I?
Yeah, about the same price, I think, actually.
Yeah, as you do.
So all I'm doing at the moment is keeping an eye on the temperature.
Yeah.
You see the rear windscreen is working.
Yeah.
Doing my sales pitch now.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to free up a few cobwebs of this car, because it's been sat for at least just over a year. The MOT expired in October 2022, but we don't know when it was last driven before then.
No.
And no one does.
Right, so shall we do a swapsy?
Oh God.
It's all right, I'm not going to drive like an idiot.
Why not?
That's your job.
There we go, love.
Like I said.
What are you trying to do, woman?
I'm just testing the steering. Yeah, the gearbox is nice, isn't it?
Was. It's quite responsive.
Yeah. It's definitely, like we said before, it's more of a refined experience, isn't it, than the older ones. Yeah, the brakes are good.
You should go on one of these rally experience days where you're the passenger.
Oh, do you know, I don't know if I could do that.
No,
I'm a bit of a nervous passenger.
You'd absolutely yourself.
Probably.
Stop there, Claire. You're on your driving test now, all right?
Oh, God. Yes.
When I tap on the dashboard and say stop, I want you to perform an emergency stop.
Okay. Yep. Ready?
Yes. Chocolate bar! See, you stop quicker for a chocolate bar than you would for any animal running across the road or anything. There you go.
That's awesome. I love it.
The horn. Oh, that's so sweet.
It's a good horn. So yeah, do you know, she drives lovely. I'm sort of a bit loath to
No.
get rid of her now.
No.
I'm not gonna win him over, I think, on this one.
It's not that. It's the fact that we don't drive the cars we have enough.
No,
and
that's
this would
the
be
point.
another car that wouldn't get driven.
Exactly.
They don't benefit from it. Let's get this as a project, a rolling project, which it already is. See how far we want to get in the next couple of weeks, and then let someone else carry on.
Yeah. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed taking a look at our little Mini. The next video you'll see on this particular car will just be an overview of what we've done to it, basically, won't it? How much it sold for at auction and what we spent on it, which is probably too much for the car to start with.
It's definitely too much.
But then we are a soppy pair like that. But anyway, so thanks ever so much for watching as always. Please remember to like, share and subscribe. It really helps a channel like ours out.
See you. Thanks.
Take care. Bye.